My people, we're back. Last time we did some pretty exciting stuff, and we're going to pick up right where we left off. Last time, we implemented a whole lot of functionality. In this Vimeo client.swift class, I just hit Command-Shift-Y to close that little bottom panel there. Command-Shift-Y. Last time we implemented this Vimeo client class, which holds the responsibility for fetching JSON that describes the first page of Vimeo's staff picks videos from the Vimeo API, and it does the requisite error checking, and then it converts that JSON into an array of video objects. And this is exciting. We also created a video object that we initialized with a dictionary from our JSON blob. And we safely pull out a couple pertinent pieces of information. The title or the name of the video, the duration, and the image URL string. These are the three pieces of information that we're going to use to render our views, our list of videos. But if you look at that JSON blob, if you'll remember from when we looked at the Vimeo API playground, there are tons of data points in there. Lots of pieces of data at our disposal to make much more complex views. We chose to extract these three just in the interest of time and because they're the most relevant to us at this moment. We made some assumptions. There are a couple different versions or sizes of thumbnail images, and we just grabbed the first one. As a smart, responsible developer, you would not do that. You would grab an image that is appropriately sized for the device that you are that the user is on. But we're fast and furious. This is Too Fast, Too Furious 8. Just kidding. Anyway, we fetched this JSON, we turned it into an array of videos, and we're calling our callback here so that in staff picks view controller, when we call refresh items, we get this list of videos and we can do something with it. And right now we're just printing the name, and when you run the app, you'll see let's run the app. What the hell? You will see the same old list of hard-coded names that we had before, but you'll also see the fact that we are printing out all of the names of the videos that we're fetching. So we can be sure that we're fetching the information that we want, and the remaining piece of that pie is to just hook it up so that we are displaying that information and getting rid of this hard-coded list of names here. So why don't we do this here? Let's make the swap. I'm going to convert this from a let to a var because it might change. I might refresh this items array multiple times over its lifetime. Future thinking, like if we expand this application to be something where there's a pull to refresh and maybe user navigates away and back to it, and we want to refresh this view every time it comes into view. Let's change the definition of this items var to match what we are actually getting back from our API response. And so let's actually just make it an empty array at the moment. The compiler was complaining there. By the way, anyway, I make mistakes all the time. Just to be clear, I mean, I shoot a lot of these videos, and sometimes I just do it in one take, but sometimes it takes a couple takes because I forget what the syntax is, or there's a lot of things to remember, and your brain, just like a device, you can only hold so many things in memory before you got to kind of jettison some. Sometimes I edit out the mistakes to make it look like I'm smarter than I am, but sometimes we'll leave them in there. Anyway, if you don't initialize this, it'll say, hey, like you got to initialize it. You need to either do that right now or do that in an initializer. So we're going to use this syntax and just say, our items array, our items variable is an array of videos, and we're going to make it empty in the beginning. And when the view loads, we'll call refresh items, and we will do something with that. So let us first, let's see. Let's first resolve this error, which is a remainder here. Could not find an or let's arguments. What the hell does this mean? All right, I'm going to pause, figure this out, and then come right back. All right, we're back. Not a very exciting error. Of course, this is a problem here. We're trying to set the text to an item in the array, but the item in the array is a video object. It's not text. So let's break this out a little bit and say first extract the video from self.items. And we're going to grab the video that happens to be at the index, indexPath.row. And I encourage you to option click on NSIndexPath and read about it, or go to the class reference here. You'll see that row returns basically the index of the row in the list that we're working with. So let's grab the video and modify this statement to say video.name. And that will silence that compiler warning. We can do Command B to build and just double triple check that build succeeds and the compiler has no issues with this. And that allows us to move down here. And what we're going to do here is basically say self.items equals const videos. And this kind of brings it full circle. We're getting rid of our hard-coded list of names. We're instead, when we get a response, storing what is initialized as an empty array. We're saying no longer an empty array. It's going to be equal to the list of videos that we got back from the API. And we're going to do one more thing, which is self.tableview.reload data. And this is good. It's necessary. We're getting our data. We're storing it someplace. And then we're saying, table view, please refresh yourself, re-render your view because we have updated data. And when the table view re-renders its data or its cells, it's going to ask this class, it's going to ask its data source, the source of the location that provides data to the table, how many rows am I going to render? And we're going to say, well, you're going to render the number of rows that corresponds to the number of items that we're holding on to. And then it's going to say, okay, cool. So we're going to have that many, rows. What does the row at this index look like? Index 0, for example. And we're going to say, oh, okay, it's going to look like this. We're going to grab a blank cell. We're going to set its name label to the name of the video. We're going to return the cell. And then it's going to ask us again for every row that's going to show up on screen. So maybe there are 4 or 5 on screen. So it'll ask us for indexPath.row, where row is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to return a cell with a different name in each one, and that'll correspond to videos 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in our items array. Pretty cool stuff. So why don't we run and see if this has the intended effect? And it might not. Who the hell knows? But it does. So we're looking pretty good. So instead of like 5 or 6 names in here of 1 month folks, we've got the titles of videos, and we are feeling fine. So yeah, this looks great. We're not getting any crashes. We're not getting any empty names. Everything's looking pretty. So with that done, what should we do next? I think let's call it a day. We're going to move on to the next video. In the next video, we are going to add some more information to this cell. We're going to add the duration, and we're going to get into adding an image. So that's it for now. See you next time.